Hello. Excellent. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So we have our introductory area. The scene begins with a gentle rustle of leaves and the distant chirp of crickets as the high forest looms around you. The canopy shimmers faintly with celestial light, beams breaking through gaps in the dense forest. The air is cool, tinged with an almost electric hum, as if something unnatural has disturbed the balance. The forest clearing opens before you, a secluded glade where the air feels charged with faint magic. The ground beneath your feet is soft with moss, and faint markings of residual energy shimmer on the earth, traces of celestial influence. You pause, adjusting your robes as the glade radiates with an aura of ancient power. Your research into the high forest disturbances has led you here, to the place where the boundaries of the natural and arcane seem to blur. Faint sigils on the ground, uh, like a language waiting to be deciphered. What would you like to attempt to do?
probably start with an Arcana check just to see if I can tell what kind of magic is emanating in the area.
Excellent. Let's try that. I'm going to see if this works. We're going to do another test feature because you're the guinea pig. Um, why is it not working? That's fine.
What are you What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to do one of those epic rolls to see if those will work. So yes, the Arcana check.
Oh, 23.
As you study the glowing sigils, you sense they are remnants of celestial energy, a natural phenomenon, but one that feels relatively unstable. Disturbances seem to be influencing the area, perhaps even affecting the wildlife.
Okay, and then I would investigate to see if I can determine what kind of disturbances are going on.
What do you mean by types of disturbances?
To see if I could decipher what or what's causing the disturbance with the celestial energy.
Like why these are forming in the first place? I'm trying to understand more of the question you're asking so I can provide a proper answer.
Okay, would I be able to tell? You said that these are not naturally forming.
Based off of what they say here, it seems to be abnormal. It definitely seems to be disturbances, correct. So the abnormal instances.
So I would try to figure out where the sigils of celestial energy came from.
Okay. So, yeah, let's try the investigation and we'll go from there. Because that way, if you don't do well on it, I don't have to come up with an answer. Well, there you go.
Like nat 20.
Yeah. Um, you gather that these sigils are not consistent. If you look at the map here near where it says the High Forest and Hellgate, in between that area, You're about
Yep.
here. You're about halfway between the two.
Okay.
You gather that the probability is coming from all the way in the Star Mountains somewhere. And it's more likely to become more common the deeper you go towards the mountains. So this is the first one that you've come across to the point of actually having to do anything worthy of investigation. But from your current line of sight, you can't see more. The information you know, the mountains, there's sometimes the Aurora Borealis aspect. There's nightlight, like sky is lit up with lights. Think northern lights, right? Above those mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're headed that direction through this hundreds of miles, if not thousands of miles of forest. Like, that much? Okay, hundreds of miles, yeah. Through the forest to obtain the search for the source of this celestial or divine energy while in the forest. Although your primary research is focused on gathering herbs, however, there's likely to be some that are influenced by this magic, the sigils and runes somewhere, and that's what you're hoping for.
Okay. Then I will continue onwards, looking for herbs that might be influenced by the celestial sigils.
Sure. Survival.
That's not a strong one. No.
Okay. So you're not able to find honestly anything. You find plenty of herbs that are useful or edible, but nothing that's necessarily worth harvesting. You have enough food to come out here. You prepared, and you know what it's like going through this. Um, from what you can see, um, I'm presuming, is it in the vicinity? Because you're not going to necessarily venture off from this one, are you? From the sigil? Or is it more.
I'm kind of looking around the sigil for stuff.
Around it. Okay, so within the vicinity, maintaining a line of sight to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're not able to find anything that's been. No plant life or vegetation or herbs that have been influenced by the celestial sigil's presence at the moment. You start to notice that the sigil. Let's do a perception check. You're focusing on finding herbs at the moment. There it
Nat
is.
one.
Well, you got a 20 and a 1. That's good. Um, great. With the information, as you are searching around for the herbs and potential valued resources, the sigil continues making these kind of flickering-ish lights. They get a bit brighter, and they get more stroby. And once you turn around, you realize that it has vanished from sight. It's gone. The sigil has disappeared. You're left
Okay.
in the middle of the forest again, miles away from where you started, seeing this thing and then it disappearing in front of you the moment you turn your eye. Like 50 miles away, 2 days travel away from where you were.
Okay. I would continue walking deeper into the forest, keeping an eye out to see if I can see any other sigils around as I walk.
Sure. Um, do you have any means to track your directional progress?
What do you mean by that?
Compass or map or sense of survival aspect gear. Any reasonable
Um,
point that I can provide you with an advantage on a survival check for navigation. Because the forest is, as it says, high and dense. So being able to see the mountains from the ground through the tree line is not a landmark you can use to navigate. I could not hear what you said, but I could hear the TV in the background.
babe, can you turn that down a little bit?
Okay, I can hear
Babe,
you now.
can you turn that down a little bit? Um, I mean, I could use dancing lights and just keep moving them along in a straight line.
That works for me. Cool. Advantage on survival check. Because honestly, that makes sense. I'm fine with that. Because you would have just done that from the start outwards. Maybe even drawn like a line in the sand when you went to sleep for the night. Or the dirt, so you knew what direction to continue placing your lights in the morning. Excellent. Okay. So you continue towards the star mounts. We'll say it's another almost day of travel to the point where now it is 75 miles out from where you started, meaning that you are about here, right at the lowercase h in High Forest. Yeah.
Yep.
And so another day later of full travel, as you start out in the morning about. I guess actually we'll do it the afternoon of travel before you're about to set up. So no overnight yet. That afternoon of travel, just as you're setting up, you come across another divine oriented sigil that actually ends up appearing in front of you. With kind of almost the way a fire starts with sparks, it kind of lights up into the forest on its own with a faintish yellow light to it.
All right, then I'm going to investigate the new sigil and the area around it to see if I can
Investigation.
kind of decipher where it came from.
Sure. When I scrolled in, I thought I heard like kind of scrolling sound. Turns out it was my cat sneezing in the background. So,
Technical difficulties.
yeah, my cat's nostrils are having technical difficulties. Um, with the 19, repeat the inquiry that you made about the location. Is it where they're coming from? Hi.
See if I can tell what caused this to appear.
With the natural 20 that you had already from on your investigation, they're definitely originating from the star mounts. And since it took you like 2 days, a day of travel means that the frequency is increasing as you continue towards your destination. So you're on track, and your deduction and your information of, oh, that's where they're originating from. Let's continue moving that direction. My research so far is correct. You're on the right path right now. Um,
Okay, and I will
Go ahead.
look around the area to see if any of the local plant life is being affected by it.
Sure, let's do that again. Let's do the um, going up. Scrolling until I find what I want to. Either you just did an investigation. Let's do nature. That's also intelligence based. Excellent. Um, that being said, what player knowledge, asking a DM to player, what kind of herb are you hoping to come across for your character, and what's the purpose of it? And if you don't want to think about it, I can come up with an answer for you.
Uh, Mainly looking for stuff to help with the research and spell casting.
Explain more. What do you mean by research and spellcasting?
So researching the Arcana arts and that might aid in spell casting for
I'm not sure what kind of potions or concepts you're hoping to use this for. What is the effects that the plant life you've been researching does? Or I guess what effects would that plant life have, not plant life does. That's grammatically correct. And if you're just gonna ask,
just researching
go ahead.
anything that might be of value or that I would be able to use in the future for
Okay. What about the concept?
possible spells.
What about the concept of, so you're something, plant life doesn't create spells, or is nor is it used in spell creation? Are you looking meaning potentially components, or are
Yeah,
you?
components to use. That's what my illiterate brain was trying to think of.
What about, instead of components, since you have proficiency in the herbalism kit, stuff that you can use to actually make potions that have effects?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Because what these can do,
Something that I would be able to use, whether in spellcasting or potion making.
or okay, because that we can work with. Due to celestial energy, we could have it be something that when you're using herbalism kits to make health potions, it creates an extra. So whenever you
Okay.
use one of these, if you have one in your inventory, you can use it to create an additional for the cost. It's just this one plant produces enough, like it increases the potency to the point where it splits into two.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, so yes, continuing.
Components for herbalism, potions, stuff that might be needed for higher level spell casting,
Uh,
stuff like that.
yes. So, um, this what you're searching for, as somebody who is capable of producing healing potions. Keep in mind, I mean, things can change. Environments we go through in the future, we can do a higher level stuff. You're level 1 right now, so the most I'd be
Yeah.
comfortable giving you is health potion, extra bonus in
Oh no,
creation. You know,
no, no potions of uh, giant strength or anything.
no potions of true celestial polymorph, CR30. No, none of those. None of I am now a god plant. Sorry. So, yes, but the way that works is mark one of them, just like a celestial forest plant or something, into an inventory. Actually, I think I could do that for you. Let me see. Inventory. Create. Consumable. Create item. Edit.
Yeah, when I was taking a second to look, I was looking to see if there was anything that I needed for like chromatic orb, dancing lights, any plant type thing that I would need for that.
Okay, so what I did is I created celestial high forest ingredient. In your inventory, and what that does, I have it written in the description: consume to create an extra potion of health. I should actually add more. Let me edit. When using a herbalism kit to make when using an herbalism kit, that works. Okay, great. Cool, so you have an item now in your consumable section.
Woohoo! I found it did something.
Yeah, and that's one. That's one of them. Well, that being said, though, I would like for you to do a perception check. Excellent.
19.
We are going to activate,
Oh
and
boy.
then I'm going to pull player to scene. Tell me if that works or not. Are you still on
Yeah,
the
give it
overall
a
road?
second.
Okay, great.
It's pulling me into the forest map,
Okay.
but my computer takes a minute.
I also forgot to preload scene, so that's my fault too. I can make it less detrimental to your computer by doing the effort on my side instead of yours.
You cannot switch scenes until resources finish loading for your current vehicle.
That's probably because I pulled you over too early.
So I will. and refresh.
Excellent.
That's 5.
Why not? What's going on? Hmm.
My computer's just slow.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out why what I'm trying to do on my side is not working. I'm trying to create visual effect while yours is loading to increase the quality. Light. Do I just create an object? I don't understand. Do I just make an actor and create an object? Create actor. Non-player character. And then drag that out, and then lighting, light, drag, light. Um, Light color, yellowish. Update token, light, lighting. There we go. And then can I go to token and delete that, and then go to lighting? Ha 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 ha. Let me try again.